Hi everyone, in this video series I'd like to introduce how to use Inkscape for mathematics instructions or presentations. You can use the keyword Inkscape and download this software for free. I'm a mathematics professor. I use these images and figures a lot in the slides for class instructions and mathematical papers and presentations. For that purpose, this Microsoft Paint is often very sufficient. It launches really quickly, and it is a perfect and easy software to use for cropping and rearranging images. But if we want to use higher quality images for papers and the slides and want to edit later down the road effectively, this Inkscape occasionally turns out my choice of a software to use. So this is how this Inkscape software looks like. If you go to Help and About Inkscape, and you can see the current version I'm using, which is Inkscape 1.1. And this file has extension name SVG, just like Word, Microsoft Word. The source file of Inkscape is this SVG file as a shorthand for scalable vector graphics. So let me explain the differences between this SVG file and the pixel file you may generate using Microsoft Paint. The first difference I'd like to explain is this scalable. So if you click on this object in there, or it's just this thing, this picture, and using these arrow key, and you can actually make it bigger. Let me put that over the other things. And the key thing is that even if you make it even bigger than this one, and if you look at these boundaries carefully, it is still keeping these very clear images, and the sharpness is still there. Let me put that back in there. But if you choose this pixel generated image, this is just a screenshot from screenshot of this one, but pixel image it will be just if you, for example, if you magnify or this images, I hope you can see, there's a little blurriness is in there. So by zooming into these two pictures, I'm going to show you this blurriness part and the sharpness of the other image more clearly. So let me put that back in there. So that's what happened if you scale it, it does not lose this resolution and sharpness. Pixel images will lose it. And if you zoom into that, you can see that more clearly. So if you zoom in, this is how it looks like. As you can see, it's still very, very clear image. If I'm back in there, if I choose this image in there, if I zoom in, I hope you can see around this boundary, this little blurry, and this quality is a little bit actually far lower than SVG file. Second important point is editing part. If you have to edit this pixel image, you can do that. You can cut out the certain part, something like that. But to us is clearly having this boundary and the interior region in Inkscape. We're going to call this fill area. There's just clearly these components, and using, if it is an SVG file, using Inkscape command, you can edit the boundary, you can change the color of this boundary, we can change the thickness of this boundary, and that kind of editing will be a lot more difficult with a pixel image. So let me show you a simple example. If I go ahead and select this particular object in there, if I go to Path menu, if I Object menu rather, and go choose Fill and Stroke, you have this command dialog box. If you choose stroke style, you can change the thickness to 3 millimeters or 3 and then here. Then it'll change that. And also you can change the color of the stroke using this color palette down there. Hold Shift key and click on red button, and it'll change the color of the boundary. Or if you just click on this one without holding Shift key, it's going to change the fill area color to the gray one in there. Let me put that back in there. So these are the two examples. And overall, using Inkscape, we can generate a high quality PDF and PNG file. That's pretty much the purpose of using this software. Thank you.